Hi again then guys, and welcome to another circuit tune for Gran Turismo Sport in particular, and this is a requested build actually for no particular class but just a circuit tune in general for the Mitsubishi Evo 4. Now I've opted to leave this one optimised for N300, and as you can see I've upgraded some things but not others. The weight I've dropped a little bit, but I haven't actually upgraded it, so you could quite easily make it even quicker than this. And then as far as the power, I've just updated it enough to make it the peak of N300, which is 344 brake horsepower. So of course, as far as upgrades go, that's down to you. If balance of performance is applied, of course it doesn't make much of a difference anyway, but if you have the option there, I would recommend dropping the weight. Now for this tune, to give you some idea of how quick it was, I compared it to the stock version, which of course is also N300, on the exact same tyres, Sport Softs, and we'll take it out to the track in a second and I'll tell you the kind of difference that it made. Now as far as the traction control, you can definitely turn that off for this car, you really do not need it. The all-wheel drive is more than good enough. For the ride height, I've dropped that to 130mm. Then as far as the frequency, we've got that on 1.9, front and rear. Anti-roll I've got on 6. As far as compression for the dampers, 64, with 91 on the rebound. Neutral camber, you could have a little bit if you want to, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but as many of you know, I like to work with default camber and toe and let my diff do most of the work. Then as far as the downforce, you do have the wing, but you cannot adjust it. As far as the diff, as I was just talking about, I've opted to go for the lowest initial torque, as you can see, then the highest all-round for acceleration and braking. That suits me pretty well. For you, it could be different. Or, of course, you could just leave the active yaw control, the AYC on there, and just adjust that. Of course, the option's up to you. And as far as the transmission, you could leave the stock one in there if you wanted to. It's already pretty good. But if you do want to upgrade it, and I would actually recommend it because this is quicker than stock, it gets through its gears quicker and you still have good top speed, I'd recommend an auto setting of 124 miles per hour, as you can see, then individual gears of 2.6, 1.7, 1.3, 1008, which is the lowest it goes, then, or at least with this setup it is, and then fifth 0.760 with, as you can see, a final drive of 4.55. So that's it for the setup. As always, I would encourage variation. Feel free to test it, try out different things just for the sake of it. Of course, you'll need to change some things if you have more power, less power, all that kind of good stuff. But now to see what it can actually do, let's take it out to our test track of choice at Dragon Trail. Now, as I said, I compared this one first of all in its stock form, completely stock N300 on Sport Soft tyres, and then reran it with this tune also with Sport Softs, a little bit more power, a little bit less weight, but still N300 to be a fair comparison, and it was a lot quicker. Now, I got around in the stock vehicle in around a 2-minute 4-second lap, which of course you could do quicker than that, but that was my lap with it. This one did it in 1:57, so it's around 7 seconds quicker than the stock N300 car, and given that that's in the same category, that's a pretty huge difference. Now of course it's not the quickest N300 car out there, you've got stuff like Porsches even, now the older GT3, but for those who do want to use the Evo, this is certainly a dependable tune to go for. It's stiffer, lower centre of gravity, and also I've optimised the tune basically to be both beginner friendly for sure and very open to interpretation, as my tunes always are, but also so that you can really manhandle the car. You can throw it through the corners, you can be rough with the vehicle, and it responds well to that. You can slam on the brakes, throw it into corners, it just takes it all in its stride. So overall, if you do decide to use this tune, or if you repurpose it for another class, of course that's fine as well. Then I hope you have a ton of fun with it, win races with it, and if you are new to the channel or would like to check out my other tunes, click right here on screen to do that. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.